why are dogs so important in Ho-Chunk culture?
Sileja Wang Shikshagra Aire Shunon Ho Chang Nagre Nike Chiregi Goiship Shunk Hanine Shuno Re Aire
Mhm.
Re Waran Reis ke Airanga Re Negoa Airegi Shunk Nagre Sha Peiranaga Chira Hirakara Aire Shuno Re Aire
Mhm.
Egi Kodes Keshke Hijan Wa Kichi Nangre Hoa Jairegi Re Wo Nangshi Wa Unangshi Aire Kodes Ke Hijan Hoa Janangi Shong Nanka Wajan Reske Re Luz Wagi Luz Wa Unangshi Aire Shono Eske Goiship Wangshik Nangre Goiship Shong Ni Hide Shono
Jagu warage Ho-Wa-Jo Ishe.
From Naka, Hiske Wa Kichi Nangre, Chi Wawidagi Kara Nangre, Koreske Hijan Re, Hoa Jairige, Nigeshke, Waran Wochechi, Hoki Airige, Re Eja, Wananginji, Wawanangshi Aire, Wanangshi Aire, Reske Hiwa Onangshi Aire, Shunon, Koreske, Hijan, Hoa Janangi, Re, Hoa Jara Re, Wagirus wa Wine Shuno Re Aire.
So, are you saying that like maybe like having a pet would help somebody feel better they were feeling sick? Is that
Yeah,
kind
they
of?
were. Yeah, the dogs were said to sacrifice themselves and take the place of somebody that was sick and take that sickness from them.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of like a spiritual belief
Mm-hmm.
because people were so close to their dogs that their dogs would do that for them. Which is why they used to say every household should have a dog, is what they used to say.
Oh, okay.
I'm just wondering about the word Wonangshi.
That means to take the place of, or to imitate. Kind of has a couple different meanings.
Okay.
One tradition is that when children, when they're young, they're also given what is affectionately called a dog name. Can you please explain why Shunk names are given out and why? And this could be brief too.
Sileja aire shunon shong dangle wajanchin wira na ine shunon ho changra. Eske hamte eske wogi go chieja hijan rashki oinegi egi jige hida sashke wawagi on ankaja shong rash wawo koine wawonangshan je choedegi shongi ja ni hidegi je rash wagi on ro goinegi je he oina je we gewa onangshan egi jagun wa onangra odishana I anankaja egoni gera chigi chira keregi shongi ja hashinigi pinangone je aire shono jagu shong nagre waish agwa onangshan egi shong nagre pejega wa kichi wa onagre ishke wa janjeske wira na I wa onangshan o kichete wa onangshan Eske shong nagre pin wara ki shongche aire shono sireja.
Protect them, right? Protect the family, and they love the family, and
Yeah. basically they have a lot of respect for dogs, and they take care of them like family members practically, because dogs have always been real close to humans, at least in our culture anyway. And that's why we loved and respected our dogs, and I'm sure dogs feel the same way about whoever they are living with and taking care of. I think it goes both ways. There are stories about even years ago that humans and dogs in our culture used to communicate. They used to communicate so well with each other. It was almost like they could talk to each other. That's how close they were years ago.
Do you have any personal stories of a dog or a pet that you've had?
See, there's a shongija ni hashonara. Re choke hara re rashki on. Hei zika hige shonon. Eske rashe shonga ni na re chokai da hokon. Oinge re wadochko ni niske yare shonon drago wogigo cheja shongrash wawako ingi hezik anaga re hijan here noninge ejakshi pinguni yare chokaira honji ki karaji jan wa onje gejene re kodeske re shongrash re Hokoine goni yare shunon eske shonga hane na re rashki on gata he zika hige eske re wado chkone eske yara na gege wa anang noninge chokaira sha kejde ujaske jagu onchege eske hi shunon ege shong jega boyship hiro nang in he Ongairishke he konhaija ni shanangija eja hashkata hishonon. Boishib re hin kijo hi shonon. Ego neja hashkata vishonon. Egi agorejan dushtamegi hakcha khera wa diwi anaga hakcha eja sheja hagi vishonon. Egi gwang Irishke khata beja owe manigi goiship hin kijo hi shunon. Koreske hi nakara wa onje goni yaranag egi wa hanangshin. One of the things that I said when I first started talking was when explaining the name, my choka was Bear Clan. And in the feast lodge, one of the names that we actually give out is Heizik. And if it's one of the names that we give out, but it was kind of strange that he gave that name to my dog, which is kind of unorthodox, I guess you would say. But like I said, he was Bear Clan, and so maybe somebody gave him that name to use, and he was using it. So I guess it was okay, is what I was explaining.
So there are two words to describe having a pet. It is nihi and hani. Can you tell us the difference between using nihi and hani?
Nihi is actually a reference to owning an animal as a pet, as opposed to a hani. Hani is just basically owning an animal. If we were talking about dogs, when you say nihi, you're saying you own that dog as a pet, as opposed to hani. Then you're just basically saying you own that dog.
Okay.
They can be used the same way. There's hardly, I mean, that's the only difference. Otherwise, they're interchangeable, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. How can I say my dog is naughty?
Shung hanina wo wankwa onje.
Okay. And could I still use nihi for that, or nihara, or like shunk niha? Can I say that?
Yeah,
Okay.
you could say, like I said, they're interchangeable. You could say that, yeah.
Okay.
And for naughty, you don't necessarily have to put a positional there too. You could just say wo wankshana.
Okay. All right. How about Weha has a fat cat?
Wihanga wijuk shin hijan hanin.
All right.
Did anyone ask, are there differences in dog names versus human names?
Well, first of all, you can name your dog any name you want. First of all, the only difference is when you get a dog name assigned to you in the feast lodge, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to use that either, for that matter. I mean, they just give you that name as an option. And that's why they say, maybe so-and-so will have a dog in the future. And if he or she wants to give that dog a Wangshik name, this is the name that he or she can use. It's an optional thing as far as giving out dog names in the feast lodge. But other than that, you can name your dog anything you want.
Pinagigi. Nagajige, were there any specific breeds of dogs that Ho-Chunks typically had?
No. Short answer is no. As far as I knew, different families had different breeds of dogs. It didn't make any difference.
And then I was told you can speak to your dog differently than you would speak to a person.
Yeah, I mean, you can teach them whatever you want, or you can use whatever term you want to use to give them instructions or whatever. The only thing different that I remember hearing a lot when I was young, when they wanted to shoo a dog away for whatever reason, they would say "see." They would say "see, see." They would say, and the dog always understood that to mean I better get out of here.
Okay.
You wouldn't say "see" to another person. It's just to a dog.
Dang it. You thought of that person like a dog. Oh. Just kidding.
Oh my
I remember hearing to tell a dog to come back. Instead of saying gude, they would say kitty go.
Oh yeah, that's another term for dogs. Yeah. Very good.
Oh goodness, we've got Ma Mani Winga on Facebook, Kiri. Sometimes I tell my kids to kitty go.